Hello, 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 Cancers. How you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching or whenever you're watching. So hopefully you're going to watch this live, but if you don't, I'm recording it on the 9th. This is your reading for the 12th through the 18th. So you guys had a full moon, or excuse me, new moon on the 11th at 10:30 at night. So if you saw me in another video say, well, I'm doing a new moon reading on the 12th, my apologies. It's actually the 11th at 10:30. So I said, I'll just do it on the 12th. But I like to keep the energies live, so I changed my mind and I'm doing it on the 11th at 1 p.m. and that's Pacific time in the United States. So if you haven't subscribed and you want to know when I'm coming on, hit the notification bell and that will tell you when I'm on live. All right, for moon or retrogrades or uploads, I'm having a new upload come up here this weekend. Just something really quick, and hope you enjoy that as well. So let's get started. This is the 12th through the 18th, and this is again, going to have some of these new moon energies in it. You are going to see the new moon energies from about the 8th until 11th, maybe 14th or 15th. They'll be really, really strong. And I will go into those on the new moon reading. So on the new moon reading, though, just so you know, I do astrology first, and then I go into the reading. So the astrology part is the energies. It's very important because as I mixed my tarot with intuitive tarot with astrology and numerology, it's really important to put those energies together. So you'll see me do the astrology part first and then the reading for a general reading. It will be live. You can ask questions. You can do that as well. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Then I'll see you on the 11th at 1 o'clock. What am I doing? Okay, so we are actually doing the 12th through the 18th. First oracle is going to be from Divine. His message to you, his answers to you, whatever struggles, trials, tribulation you might be going through. Maybe you're asking for something or asking for a prayer or, whatever it is. This is going to be his card to resonate with you. Second card is the 12th through the 18th, and the third card is the future energy. Now, this future energy, I usually say, is for the weekend energy, like for a week. This is going to go for a couple of months. In fact, the last reading I just did for Scorpio, it would totally make sense because it's going to take time. Really going to take time. Sort of like a garden. When you plant the seed, it takes time for it to grow. It takes time for it to come up. It takes time for it to generate the vegetable or the flower or what a fruit or whatever it is. It takes time, process, and it can't skip a step. You can't speak today. All right, so let's get going here. Now, again, Divine, I'm going to ask, can you pick some different cards? So I said this the last time, and she's like, nope. He picked the same cards all week long, pretty much all week long. Oh, wow, these are a little bit different. Yay. So first card out is the Queen. The Queen is about your woman. Now, if you're a guy, don't look at it. I'll share this in a minute. So the Queen is about woman, fertility, feminine power, sexuality, friendships. It's just knowing your feminine side, and the number 4 being stable. So having a good foundation in your feminine side, having understanding your feminine side. We all have a little bit of each. We all have a little feminine and masculine. We all have a little masculine, but one is more predominant than the other. However, this is definitely about your feminine power being inside. It's really surprising if you look a lot of cultures, even in the American culture, we think that the guys are actually the one in charge most of the time. Usually it is the woman because the man is usually out there working and trying to, make the butter. Even though you're both out there trying to do it, somebody still takes charge of running the house, running the children, and all that kind of a stuff. So usually the women have a little bit more power in that aspect, even in another culture, even in a not patriotic. I can't speak today. Whether it's a matriarchic country or a not patriotic, you know what I mean. Where the man's in charge or the woman's in charge. There's a lot of them. it's like Africa, so they have different countries that have that. So yeah, I just can't speak today. All right, so I'm going to stop using the big words. Okay, current energy is the communication. Number 5, it's not stable. It means that this is an energy that maybe this is something that needs work this week. And for somebody, the future energy with this communication, 9 is stable, to bring stability back. Okay, thank you. Communication, you need to forgive. Maybe you need to forgive. Somebody needs to come and forgive you. Maybe you need to forgive somebody. I don't know what it is, but this communication is going to bring balance back. So to forgive somebody, you would be surprised. I might go into that a little bit because they're showing me a couple of things, little movie things that, yeah. So a lot of people think that they won't ever forgive somebody for actions. You don't have to forgive. You can forgive, but you don't forget. However, you can forgive. A lot of people, even in another country, I was dealing with somebody from Africa, and they said, please forgive me. And I'm like, okay, I forgive you. Doesn't mean that I accept what you did. Doesn't mean that, I'm going to put myself in a position where that's going to happen again or anything like that. But they thought because I forgave them, they could do it again. And I'm like, no, you can't do that again. Then you're going to turn around and ask me forgiveness. So there's no understanding of what forgiveness was in that person's mind. Forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. I'll forgive you, just don't do it again. Their idea is, please forgive me so that I can do it again. No, that's not the way it works. Okay, forgiveness is just for you to be able to move on and to create stability in somebody's life again. Again, this may have to do with somebody. I'm gonna touch on this for 2 seconds, and then I'm gonna let it go because this doesn't resonate with. So if you have had any abuse, whether it be sexual abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse as a kid, okay, and you carry that on all your life, that other person doesn't think about it at all, but you do. You think about it day in, day out, and it wears on you, rather than if you were just to be able to forgive. Then trust me, I've been through it. It's not an easy thing. And I even forgave my brother's murderer. So this is something that has to be within you in spirit to be able to do and come to terms that you can do it. But if you carry this energy forward all the way to the rest of your life, you're hindering yourself. You're hi, welcome. Yes, I am. I'm back. My knee surgery, I'm still recovering. I might have to go back in. I don't want to do that. So it's good seeing you. But the thing is that when you carry that all your life, then you're wasting your energy. You're holding and blocking a lot of the opportunities off. So if you forgive them, you don't forget, you just don't allow it to happen, or you don't ever let that person enter into your life. Sometimes it's a toxic situation kind of a thing. Yeah, you have to go with your intuition. Yes. Oh, I do. Thank you. I do. Well, I do. It's slow healing. The doctor says I'm slower than everybody else. So I might have to go back in again. We hope not, but keep me in your prayers. The Queen of Cups is about your intuition. So we really have to look at our feminine power and our communication and how we communicate. Now, communication is really, really a key when it comes to our intuition. You know why? Because communication is body language, nonverbal communication is 67% of how we communicate. That's why there's so many problems with texting. You cannot see the person, so therefore there's a ton. I would say that infinity-wise, ton of miscommunication because you cannot read the intonation, you cannot hear the intonation, you cannot see the person's reactions, you cannot see the facial, you cannot see their body language, you cannot see any of that. I got a gnat that's driving me nuts. And so therefore we miscommunicate. Whereas if you have that visual, if you ask me to coach or do a session with you, I'm going to ask for a video, or I'm going to ask for FaceTime or Skype or something like that, because a lot of that communication is read through your energies, your body language. It's nonverbal. So you have to have a really good intuition to be able to read people. Some have it better, some have it not. Some actually learn to have better intuition. But this is really important to follow your intuition. Because when you look at somebody and you think, he's lying or she's lying, that you're probably right. You're probably right. And this little bugger, if he flies around once more, I don't even like to kill gnats, but boy, they're annoying. So that is really important. This is your weak card. This is your card this week. So somebody's having problems with communication because it's the number 5, and it's also the planets. There is a unbalance. We have an unbalance. So this is definitely. And okay, thank you. So they brought me back to the Divine's card, the Queen, and the thing is, it affects your friendships. Friendships, it affects everything, but it's about bringing stability. Yeah. So 4. Number 4. Both cards. Balance. It brings balance back into place. Whether it's never going to be fair, it's never going to be right, it's never going to be okay. It is what it is, but it brings balance back in. Okay, I'll share a story here with you in a minute because Divine says to, and I will if he reminds me. Okay, so anyway, and it also, this helps you with your sleepless nights. Somebody's really just got something on their mind. They can't stop their brain from thinking. This card here, the 9 of Swords, that's what's happening. You're not able to relax and be yourself. And that feminine power, that masculine power, whatever it is, you cannot be yourself because you're struggling mentally with yourself and whatever is going on in your head. All right. So what is it that you're struggling with? 9 of Pentacles. I think that's probably a couple 100 million people, is that there's some people struggling with money. I think if everybody had enough money, I think the world would be a different place, definitely. But this is definitely, okay, so there is something going on with somebody's job. So we have the 9 of Pentacles, and then we have the Magician. So I think this could be for somebody. This is not going to be for everybody, but somebody has actually made it to like a managerial level. They've worked hard, or they've gotten to the level that they've wanted to successfully. They've reaped the rewards of where they're at, but something is creating a turmoil within themselves, and it might have to do with the way things are being communicated at work. Things that are like, okay, now I'm got this, now I got to make a decision about something. I have to either manifest something, or I have to create something. I have to do something, or either things are going to slide down, or they're going to actually fall apart, or I have the choice to either bring it up. Thank you. I have the choice to bring it up to another level, or I have a choice to leave it where it's at. We always want to bring something up to the next level because we don't want to hinder and stop. So something, I think the low vibrational is telling me here that you can have something really fall apart. You've gotten to this level. Now what do you do? And there's some challenges going on with that. I can't see what those are, but there are some challenges going with that now you're going to have to create or do something to bring it to the next level. Because you've already hit the level you want. Now you got to go to the next level. It's like a dream. When you hit your dreams, I've hit every single accomplishment in my life that I've wanted. And sometimes that's really good, but sometimes that's a hindrance. Because a lot of the times, like for dating, for me, it's really hard because it's like, what people say, well, what haven't you done? It's like, you know it all. No, I don't. And that's a real struggle. I'm sorry that I have gone and lived life and done so many things and hit my accomplishments, but it's never, ever enough as far as knowledge. Because everybody has their own experiences. I want to learn more. But it's really, really hard as an empath and being a person who has taken all you know, if the divine says go learn to windsurf, or go ahead, go do that, and I did. If you want to learn how to scuba dive, go learn how to scuba dive. You want to live in another country, live in another country. You want to write a book, you want to write a book, go write a book. You allowed those things to happen. But it is really a hindrance when it comes to dating or talking to people, because then they think, oh, you're just a know-it-all. So I don't say anything anymore. I don't do that. Yeah. Yeah, we all want to learn, you know, because somebody all has something for us. We all can learn something from somebody. However, it's really hard when you're dating, because then they're like, well, you know, I don't measure up. I don't judge anybody. I'm not measuring you to anything. And they just think, well, I haven't done as much as you, so probably I'm boring to you. No! Oh my gosh. Anyway, so we have Justice is the next card out. Again, this, I believe this has to do with paper work, because it has to do with paper involving something going on. Or this also could do with money for your future. This could be something for you in the future, something in your process for your future, to do with your finances. Could be a house, could be something that you're trying to gain. Somebody could be struggling. But you know what? The breakdown here, you guys, for this week, and the divine is saying, is your communication. Communication. Now, for the ladies out there, I'm going to say this to you guys. A lot of the time, we take for granted our femininity. We take for granted who we are as a woman. We take for granted, really, our sexuality, how powerful it is, especially in dating and relationships. It is huge. It is really, really huge. Our sexuality is really, really huge. Not so much in friendships. However, we should be able to share and learn and grow from each other. But we forget sometimes about our femininity. Oh, dang it. He would call right now. But the thing is that definitely we forget about being feminine. You know, it's like in dating, you know, guy, if I'm around horses all the time, I'm sure a guy doesn't want to have to smell horse all the time. You know, if I can say, you know what, horses are my thing, but I can get dirty and I can dress up just as much as you want me to. So I can turn from a little tomboy into a very feminine lady, depending on the circumstances, and go from there. So we have to remember that, you know, when we're looking for a mate or looking to date or whatever role we are playing, it is important, if you are heterosexual, I'm going to talk about that because that's what I am. And that is about, men want to see feminine women, or they want to see that you are a woman, not as hard. When I was bodybuilding and all muscle, you know, some men like that. However, majority of the men, they're like, I don't want to be sleeping with another guy or holding some muscles that I think are another guy, you know? So that's yeah. So, I mean, this is a really important thing to understand. That is why you see so many relationship coaches out there. That's why you see so many, you got men relationship coaches telling women how the men play games. And then you got female coaches telling men how the women, you know, are so emotional and this is the way we do things because our minds are totally different. So this is where otherwise we wouldn't be having all these coaches and these videos and self-helps and all that kind of stuff, right? Okay, so this is really important for the ladies, for the feminine side. And that's all I'll say about that. Okay, so we have the Knight of Swords, and then we have the Six of Wands. So this communication, whatever's being broke down that needs to be paid attention to, and your intuition is needing to be paid attention to, okay? So whatever that is, you've got something coming to you pretty fast. So somebody is going to need to be communicating with you, or you're going to be needing to communicate with somebody. This is going to be a victory. And I do believe it has to do with forgiveness. I really believe this is going to be a victory. This is your victory. Now, whether somebody comes to you and apologizes for something they did, didn't do, whatever they said, didn't say, words, I'm not going to get into words because, boy, that forgiveness about words, you cannot take back words. I'm sorry. People say, well, I take it back. I'm really sorry. You already implanted it into their head. That's why words are powerful, and we have to hone in our tongue. We have to control our tongue. We have to just nip that tongue for a second before we say something so mean, so vengeful, or even just out of anger, because you can't take that back. It's already ingrained in them. Too bad, too late. It's like when my brother was calling me fatso and ugly and all that when I was young. That ingrained me for many, 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 many years because I heard it over and over and over and over again. And even as an adult, he said, I'm really sorry. Too late, too sad. You made me think from a very young child all the way up into my adulthood until I really did my own homework that I was ugly and fat and I was not going to be worth anything to anybody. That is the wrong thing to do. Words are powerful. Please, please be careful about that. But I am going to say, yeah, the ignorant, because you know what? That's just something that he's broken in himself. So there is a brokenness, there is hurt, there is pain, probably because I was the only girl and I got more attention because my two sisters died. So there is something deep down that he needed to work on in himself. However, let me get back to this here really, really quick, and real quick story. And this is what's going to happen for somebody here. So you want to go ask somebody for forgiveness, and you've already made up the whole thing in your mind. You think it's going to go this way. They're going to get mad. They're going to yell at you, whatever. Okay. You've already figured out the negative, low vibrational stuff, which has stopped you to go because that's fear. So that low vibrational stuff has stopped you and not going to let you go. So you're not going to go. Let me turn that around for you. You got to listen to your intuition. If it's time, it's ready. It's time to go and apologize. Okay. So the thing is with that, when I did this, when I began to, remember I said I was a liar and manipulative. I used to sell tack and not pay people back their money for it from a commission, like a commission kind of a thing. Really, really wrong, bad business, really wrong. And so when I turned my life completely around, I had a whole list of all those people and I wanted to go pay each one back. And so what I did was I was terrified. But I went to that first person, and this first person was not a horse person. This was a person that I had trusted. We were best friends. She helped me with my daughter. She was my maid of honor in my wedding. I needed a rent money one time. She loaned it to me, but I never paid it back. She was on the number one top of my list. Terrified. This is just going back, not even a year ago, I started righting my wrongs. And I went back and I thought, you know what? She's going to hate me, but I am going to go and I'm going to give her money back and I am going to apologize and ask for forgiveness. And what I did not expect was, and this has happened over and over and over again, that I went and I apologized. I said, yes, I was wrong. I should have never, ever done that. That was wrong to take advantage of your kindness. It was, wrong. I want you to, I want to pay you back. And I am deeply, deeply sorry that I'm not that person anymore. And that woman cried. She hugged me and she said, I will always be your best friend. And thank you for that. And and it's brought us closer. And every person I did that with, thinking that they were going to push me away, yell at me, scream at me, call me names, whatever, it's been the opposite. It's been beautiful because I right my wrong. I don't want to leave the footprint. I don't want to leave this footprint of when I leave, oh yeah, she was a ripoff artist. Yeah, she just was a liar. I don't want to leave that footprint for myself. I don't want to leave that footprint for my children, which I only have one daughter. But I do not want to leave that footprint because we carry that energy. Then that energy stays with them. Then we end up creating a negative energy around them with what we did. Remember the very beginning, we talked about the ripple effect. Well, the energy is that ripple effect. Whatever we do doesn't stop with us. It ripples out. And so if we correct our wrongs, if we go back and communicate and we ask for forgiveness, or they forgive us or we forgive them or whatever, that ripple effect, instead of going out, that energy comes back in, and then it goes to a high vibration. It's beautiful because these people actually now contact me and how are you and how are things going. You know, it was like a long lost friend that needed that healing on both sides. Both sides needed that healing. Yes. Here, or the hangman. A very spiritual healing. Very spiritual healing. And this is insightfulness. Again, this is your intuition. All right. I don't know who this is for, but definitely. I think, you know what? I hate to say this, but I think this resonates with every single person on earth, because we've all done something we regret, and and then, you know, somebody's done things that they regret. We all have been there. But the decision to actually go and ask forgiveness is torture in our mind, but courage and strength to go through with the process, to actually even just call them up and say, hey, can we talk? That is the biggest step in courage and step in strength. And that, my friends, is going to bring balance. Where's the number 4? We got the number 4, the number 4. And then we've got the number 2. Remember, I was saying, bringing that together, bringing balance. We've got the number 1. We can manifest it. We are growing it with something new. We're trying something new. We're beginning to open a new door. But this has got to start with you, or whoever it is, to come forward. Somebody's got to open the door. Thank you. Somebody on the other side just said they got to open the door. I don't know who opens the door. Is that you? Yeah. Oh, thank you, Ryan. Thank you. I don't like the word stupid, though. Nobody's stupid. You know, the thing is ignorant. Ignorance is because you do not have the knowledge or the skill or the right mindset. So I don't like stupid. I don't think he's stupid. I think he's really lost. I pray for him, because to do those kind of things, I wouldn't, not only some of the verbal, but, you know, as you know, I was sexually abused as a kid too, but to do those things and have to have power over somebody and to have to do those things, really, you got to think that person is really lost, because they're doing it because they didn't get it when they had it, when they were a child. Yeah. So let's see what the new moon and the planets are saying. Now, remember, these, the 11th, but these energies are already starting to come in for this new moon. New moon isn't as powerful. This one is as powerful as the full moon was. I don't know if you guys felt that full moon this last time. It felt so good. The energies are so good, but it also made you wake up, because things are not in balance. It's like, okay, got to go back to, do I need this? Is this a want, or is this a need? Is this a want, or is this a need? What is it? Do I buy it? Do I not buy it? You know, is it within my means? Is it not in my means? It's like, now I'm trying to look for a piece of property, because my leather shop has outgrown my garage, and I can't bring any carriages or carts or buggies in, so I can't do any work. So I'm trying to find a piece of property where I can actually have a house and a shop at the same time. So keep that in prayer for you guys. I keep asking. So let's see here. See what the planets and the moon. All right. For those of you guys who don't know, so all you new people out there, do you know that when you watch a tarot reader, do you know that there is a reason why we do this? Or they pop them? Do you know why we do that? So that is actually to shake off any of the negative, low vibrational energies. Just a food for thought. I would love to know how many of you guys knew that out there. Oh, hey, that's okay, Ryan. You know what? We all heal, we all grow. And you know what? I share my testimony with somebody so that they can heal and grow too. Yeah. All right, so let's see where we go. What does the moon and the planets have to say? Yeah, definitely. This is good. Remember, I was telling you this is going to take courage and strength for somebody? It is. 8. We've got number 8. Wow, that's interesting. 8. So we've got 3, 8, and 10. Okay. So this is good. This is a process. And yes, of course, everything is going to move forward. The wishing well and the strength, it is going to take strength and courage for somebody to move forward. You know, it really is. However, this is movement. You're going to find some new movements coming with this new moon. There's going to be a lot of different movements. A lot of the energies are going to be pretty much the same. But again, this is movement and strength. Remember, this is going to last for a couple of months. So there might be some things coming towards you or going away from you in this, and also in your communication. It's going to take a couple months to change and transform this. It really is. But the thing is, the planets are on the same track. They're on the same track. So is the numerology. It's on the same track. So when you make your decision to move forward, definitely for whichever way you choose to go, if something is in your mind all the time, that becomes more of an idol than anything. So you begin to think of that about that more than anything else. That begins to be an idol rather than you wanting to control it or have it or whatever, rather than letting the outside forces, divine, the universe and everything manifest and bring it together. Okay, so that is something that you really have to work through to because this is what's keeping you up at night. So you really, really want to think about those things and try to release them to the universe or divine, whoever you believe in. But make sure it's spiritual, because that's where we start. If we release it to spirit, then things can move and happen. That's energy. That is just it. If we hang on to something like the Four of Pentacles, we hang on to it. We don't want to let go of it. It's like living in the past. How can anything move forward when you're dragging the past? You cannot move forward if you're dragging the past with you. All right. That's the same with communication. When you start fighting, stop bringing up past stuff that you agreed not to, that it should have been done in here. Stop bringing it up over and over and over and over and over again. That keeps you stuck. It keeps you stuck. So really think about these things. I know there's a lot got unpacked here. The thing is that really for somebody, if this doesn't resonate all with you, I'm sure we all need forgiveness or to give forgiveness to someone. So it resonates with everybody in that aspect. However, communication is really the key. If this is something that didn't resonate with you, but maybe somebody else, please share this with them. And for ladies, really, really think about your feminine. I mean, I'm a tomboy. I'm horses. I'm a tomboy. I'm, get dirty, get outside, country, go camping 4 days without a shower kind of thing. Well, sits baths, but come on. Those kind of things. But I can turn around and put on some heels and look really, really smashing. So that's what the men enjoy, is the feminine side. Don't forget about it. And we do have a lot of power in that, because if you look smashing and a guy really likes that and you make him happy, he makes you happy. You just never know what can happen. And I don't mean this. I just mean a beautiful, beautiful ending. All right. So don't forget, what is it, the 11th? That's only 2 days away. There's going to be another reading, and I will see you then. Take care. Hello, hello. I just got done with doing a video. I was going to give you a jingle.
All right, why finish your video?
It's all done. Perfect timing.
Yeah. I said, I kept saying, I said, you'll call me as soon as I come into the shower. But it don't always work that way.
Are you in the shower now?
I called you earlier, and I was outside. I kept saying I was going to call you earlier this morning, because I said, I know Pat knows what to do. There's a bird on the side. You know those birds? I guess they're trying to get in.
A bird? They could be. We got woodpeckers up in the Northwest. We do have woodpeckers up in the Northwest, but I wouldn't know. Yeah. Oh wow, they could be. The way to tell if you, I don't know if you, somebody can see really well, even if they just, if you can get a real quick vision of the bird, if the bird's beak is like to almost a needle point, I mean it's very long and like a needle, that's a woodpecker. Uh, it, yeah. Oh wow. Wow, wow. I don't, yeah, I wouldn't know how to get rid of him. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Um no, no, I never lived in Montana. You must be talking to too many girls. Michigan, Michigan. I was born. Yeah, it started with an M. Um, are the birds on top of the roof or like are they under the eaves of the roof? Okay. Are they teeny tiny birds or are they fairly big birds? Okay, so they're probably a barn sparrow, is what they probably are. Are they making sort of like a mud nest up there, or are they making just twigs? Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I think they're little woodpeckers. I would call, yeah, I would know, I would be, for me, I would be calling pest control because if they don't do it, then they can refer you to somebody that does it because pest control usually is like mice and things like that. However, yeah, however, they may know about birds, and if they don't, they probably can refer somebody to birds. But if that was me, that's who I would call because I mean, who else would you call? See, you found something I don't know. Yeah, yeah, no, that's not common. I mean, it is common in farmlands, it's common in that kind of thing because they're getting ready to have babies, so they're building their nest. Yeah, but then you're going to end up with a mess in there, and then having a hole that's going to, your moisture and all that kind of stuff, especially if you've got, yeah, yeah, definitely. So, oh my gosh.